Well, greetings and salutations, folks. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I have a South Carolina subscriber interview. He is a researcher and he wanted to come on and share some experiences with us. Before we get into that, a couple links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click the like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all of these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, folks, they definitely do matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Well, let's jump into today's upload, shall we? Really quick before we jump in, tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to be doing a live stream for about an hour. Today is my birthday. I turned 48, and I wanted to spend an hour with you guys during a live and just hang out with my favorite group of people, you all. So I hope to see you all there. Let's get into this. All right, everybody. Tonight I have a very special guest. He has been with the channel for probably since the channel began, almost. Shane Barber is with us tonight. Shane, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I want to thank you for taking some time out of your night to share your experiences with us.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Shane is calling, or I'm calling Shane from, he's in South Carolina, and he's had some pretty interesting experiences throughout his life. So the floor is turned over to you, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Well, let me see. Maybe I should start with the reason, and I can work my way back here a little bit. First of all, I'm disabled, and so I can't work. So I fly drones around from time to time, and I live in an apartment complex. There's some woods all around where I live at, just all around me, and I've been having experiences, encounters with Sasquatch and Dogman for some time now. It seems to follow me everywhere I go, everywhere I move. But the most recent I had was about a few days ago. I was flying my drone outside, and I went and checked the back. So I had something was telling me I need to go out there and just take a look. And I flew over and I went down close to it, and I saw something out there. It was like a dark figure near a tree, and I couldn't make it out, but I started to take some pictures of it as best I could. And when I got done flying, I come back in, I checked out the pictures, and I zoomed it in. It looked like, I'm not sure what this was, but it looked like either maybe a Sasquatch or a werewolf or a Dogman. It had the body of a Sasquatch, but it had like either a dog's head or a wolf's head. Like, it's very big. His eyes is big. You can see his nostril, that classic dog shape, But I saw that, and that kind of freaked me out. Because it's just right behind where I live, and it's in the city limits, but I'm thinking, well, it's not far from our farmland. We used to go out to fly up there. But that was just one of the times I've seen something. And then I think it was last week or so, the week before last. I got another picture. I've got 3 Sasquatch in the photo there. They were standing close to each other. There was a big one. He was dark-haired. I'd probably say he's probably maybe 8 foot. He was wider than the door. You know, like your door you come in from the house. His body could cover the whole door, you know. He had a big head on him, like. And I saw the other ones. There was a tall, skinny one, like he was black-headed. It was walking away from him. And then I saw a brownish-red one, probably about 6 or 7 foot. I couldn't tell if it was male or female, but it was there with him. And I'm not sure why they're doing this, you know, why they're coming in. It's just so close to me, but I don't know. But I'll start working my way back. Maybe somebody can help me understand what's going on. But
yeah.
I'll go back when it first started. When I first saw something, that was back in. I think that was around the year 1984. And me and my brother and my 2 stepbrothers went out to. We used to go spotlighting for deers in the car. You know, we never had no gun or nothing. We just had a spotlight. We'd go out looking for them. And we seen a bunch of deers on the back roads, but we stopped by this old house that was abandoned. And my brother put the spotlight up there, and we was looking around, and just before we got ready to leave, this tall thing just stood up with the reddest, darkest eyes I've ever seen. I don't know what it was, but the only thing I knew back then what it could have been was a Sasquatch, because I never heard of a Dogman, you know, back then. But I saw that and I said, that's a Sasquatch, you know. Dark, red eyes glowing us, and we all took off, and my stepbrother, he just mashed on the gas pedal and took off, and, you know, I talked to my brother about it years later, but he forgot all about it. He didn't want to talk about it, but that was when I first started having encounters with these things. And I started doing research up on them. I started reading books and watching videos, whatever, trying to learn what I could from them. And then a little later on, we used to have a chicken farm, and then my brother built. It was sturdy. We had a strong chicken wire. It had 4x4s and stuff like that. You know, it was real sturdy. You know, you couldn't get in there unless something really strong can get there. But we had a real bad ice storm that night. We was up late. And my brother, my mom, and one of my friends, he had stayed over, and we kept hearing something out there and walking around down there below the hill where the chicken lot was at. We heard this loud crash or something, like something breaking. I said, maybe that was a tree falling or something because of the ice storm. So we waited till morning, and I went out there, and my brother was up there, and the back part of the chicken lot was mashed all the way down. It was the 4x4s was just broken in two, like something just broke it and pushed it all the way down. And 2 of my chickens were gone. They were in a chicken pen, in a separate pen, like. Something, they went in there and got the 2 chickens and pulled the feathers off of it, took them away. I don't know what that was. And I'm not sure. I couldn't say honestly what that was. I looked for tracks. I couldn't find anything. But and a little time went on as I was growing up. I used to go fishing a lot with some friends, and we went to this lake. It was called Lake Monticello in South Carolina, not far from where I live. And we was fishing there at night, around 11 o'clock. And my friend and his wife, we were fishing on the pier. And then my friend went to walk. We went walking around while his wife was fishing on the pier. And we was on a basketball court. For some reason, the light went off there up under the court. It was a big line, you know. You can see at night. And it went off. And then we started hearing whoops. I heard a whoop. The first one real close to us, behind us. My friend said, what is that? I said, well, I'm not sure, but I think that might be a Sasquatch. I said, they whoop. off and on. And we heard another whoop across the road from that first one, and they started whooping back and forth. He wanted to go looking for it. I didn't go. I told him, I said, the best thing we probably do was just go back to the pier, either get ready to leave or just stay there, you know. Yeah, but we decided to leave because they were getting closer. I don't know if it was calling in another or what, but they kept whooping and they kept getting closer and closer. It's still, every time I talk about these things, they just still, you know, give me the chills talking about them. But it's starting to get to the next one, which is one of the real scary ones. That me and some other friends went fishing at a little public pond. It was called Wildcat Lake, even though it's not really a lake. They just call it Wildcat Lake. There's two ponds that's separate from each other, and there's a road that goes down about a mile back in the woods, like it's gravel road. You can hear people coming in and out of the road, but they went all the way to the end where the road circles around. There was nobody there but me and two other friends. We got settled in. We had to walk down in the woods down to the, they got a fishing pier down there. It's like handicap access. You walk all the way down about 100 yards or so down in the woods to get to it. And we kept hearing something walking around, and then we started hearing breathing and this growling sound. And I was getting a little bit more scared. I started thinking, oh boy, here I go again. There's something going on. And it started throwing rocks in the water when we was fishing there. And my friends thought it was somebody playing a trick. I said, who would come out here in the middle of the night time, in the middle of nowhere, just to play a trick on us? But I said, whatever this is big. It's breaking branches. It's throwing rocks in the pond. And we went out of supplies there, like food and snacks. So me and one of my friends went back to this town to get some stuff. We left my friend there fishing by himself. And when we finally come back, I was so worried about him. And it takes a long time to get. It took us about 40 minutes to get back to and from where we had to come each way. When I got back, he said, his face was white as a ghost. He said, I want to go home. I said, what happened? He said, as soon as y'all left, this thing come up, started hollering at me, growling, breaking branches, sticks like that. And I said, well, okay, we'll gather our stuff up. And we started gathering our stuff up, and then we heard this loud scream. It sounded like a woman screaming in pain. Have you ever heard that before? It's very terrifying. You know, it's the loudest scream I've ever heard. And my heart was racing, and we had to walk back up to the car in the middle of the night, dark, and you can't see nothing, with a little flashlight. You know, the time it was just growling at us and throwing rocks in the water and breaking branches, and that was one of the most scariest times I ever had. Just hearing one. And then sometime later on, I moved to Georgia for a while, for about close to 5 years. I used to live with an ex-girlfriend a long time ago. For the first couple of years, it was real peaceful. It's a beautiful place. We lived right beside a mountain. It's all country. And it was just about right there, a little small mountain right beside us. And then it started out with the coyotes coming in. The coyotes would start making noises at night. You know how they yelp and all that? They would yelp, and then one night I started hearing something kind of imitate the coyotes. It was a little bit louder and a little bit more different. And I was like, well, there's something out there imitating a coyote. It's not a coyote, though. And it kept getting worse and worse every night. And then finally, this was one of the first time I had a real close encounter with the Sasquatch. It started coming up at night. It would walk around the house. You can hear something walking around the house. And it actually coyotes yelping, and something grabbed one of the coyotes, and it started, screaming, like a dog does, and when it's hurt and being attacked, it makes that sound. It was being attacked, and then it made one last yelp, and then it was real quiet. It just went real quiet, and I knew that Sasquatch. I knew it was a Sasquatch. They had killed that coyote, and then he started, and then it was Christmas night back in 2010. And it just had snowed. There was 3.5 inches of snow on the ground, and we was inside, and I had to take my dog out. I had a little Chihuahua. I had taken out the snow, and I saw these footprints leading from the back of the house all the way to the front, to the garage where we come out at. And I saw them. It was just one set. It was just coming to the garage. It wasn't going away. It was just coming to it. I backtracked it. And when it got to there, the footprints disappeared. I don't know what happened, how that disappeared. It's still confusing. I said, there's only one set of prints that leads right from the back of the house in the woods to the garage. It doesn't go nowhere else, and it didn't step back on its own prints. It was just like coming in one direction, and they come all the way up to the garage. And I measured them. They were 18 inches long, and they were about close to 7 inches, going 7.5 inches in width from the middle there. And it was deep. It went all the way down in the snow, all the way down to the paved road there, because it was frozen. It had frozen. All that snow was frozen, and it broke through the ice all the way down there. And I said, well, whatever. If this was a Sasquatch, it had to be really big, because the way it crunched into the snow, I couldn't even crunch in the snow. I'm 270 something pounds, and I couldn't even crunch that far in snow, even jumping on it, because it was frozen, I thought, well, this is much bigger than I was, and then I heard him one time. He come up on us one night. We were on the porch. My ex-girlfriend was out there smoking, and I brought the dog out, and he made the loudest growl I'd ever heard in my lifetime. At first, I thought it was a cow, but it wasn't a cow, because it growled like that, and it just carried on for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds maybe. Just so loud, so loud, and you could feel it. I could feel my hair stand up in the back of my head. And I never could see it anymore. I tried so hard to see it at nighttime. I'd be watching for it, hoping I could see it, but I never saw it. And I moved back here to South Carolina back in 2012 now. And I got settled in this apartment, and I met my wife here. We got married, and then her daddy owns farmland about a mile and a half from where we live. He's got about 50 acres, and I used to go flying my drone up there a lot. And this is where all the strange things started really going bad. We would be out there, we would hear wood knocks. You can hear them out there knocking in the wood, and you would hear something hollering. My wife heard something sound like a woman screaming. I heard it too. Yeah, and my wife, I was flying the drone, and she looked over there, and she stood up, and she started walking on us. I didn't know what was going on at first, and I looked up, I said, Sarah, what's going on? And she went and answered me, and I had to go there and shake her out of it. She was like, she was in a trance or something, and she said this tall Sasquatch come out. This dark Sasquatch come out, was trying to communicate with her somehow. She said it was talking to her, but it wasn't moving its lips. Like it was, like a, maybe telepathy or something, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Yep.
And she said it was trying to get her to come to it. And I pulled her away from it, I said, you're not going to go over there. I said, you don't know what that thing will do to you. every time we went over there, they kept coming out. They would watch us from behind bushes, and I saw a reddish brown one looking at us from behind a tree. My wife saw one in the field, and then we saw that Dogman. I believe I sent you a picture before.
Yeah.
And you showed me that Dogman, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know it was out there until it showed me. I saw the Sasquatch, then I started seeing his footprints. The Dogman, I saw his footprints in the mud, and I saw, like he put his hand down, on the ground in front of his footprint. I guess it must have been on his all fours, because it was his footprint and his handprint. And then I saw what looked like dog poop, classic dog poop, but it was a little bit more bigger than I figured out about it. Maybe it's from that Dogman. I really don't know, I'm sure they got to go to the bathroom too.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I started getting very worried because every time we go out there, Jeff, these things would come up. They would come up. They would watch us. This tall black one. I got him on a video. I've been trying to get it where I can send it to you. I want you to see it because he's in there for the first 3 seconds in the video. He's right behind a tree. You can see him. You can see his cone head. You can see his body. He's sitting there looking at me. I mean, probably no more than, I say no more than 15 yards from me. I mean, that close, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I remember that picture that you're talking about, actually.
Yeah. And you showed me that Dogman, and I don't know if you know this guy, Cryptic Crow, whatever his name is, Cryptic Crow Priest. His name is Tony.
No.
And he deals with Dogman all the time, and I sent him a picture of him, and he showed it to me. Another one, he said, there's another Dogman in there too, Shane. He says, there's another right there. He drew it out and showed it to me. I said, oh my goodness. I said, there was 2 Dogmen in there? He said, yeah, there was 2 Dogmen and the Sasquatch in that photo. I said, oh my goodness. And he told me, he says, you need to stay away from it. He says, when they start coming in like that, especially with the Bigfoot, he says they might be, might be a territorial thing. They might be trying to, fight for the territory, or there might be something going on.
Right.
And he said, because I was getting scared. I mean, the Bigfoots didn't bother me. They seemed peaceful. They didn't seem to bother us never. They just was watching me, watching us. But the Dogman was the problem. That's what got me scared, because they was coming in too close. And my wife said when her daddy and mom used to live out there, they would hear somebody would bashing their hand on the walls at night, on the outside of the house. You'd hear like that. And my wife said her mom had an encounter like that before she died. She heard somebody banging on the wall outside from her bedroom. Yeah. I said, well, that's what, from what I heard, that's what Dogman and Sasquatch will do sometimes. They'll bang on your house in the middle of the nighttime just to keep you awake, They know where you are. It don't matter if you can walk in one part of the room to another. They know where you are somehow.
Yeah,
like,
some sort of sense.
Yeah, and then they started coming up close to my apartment complex. I mean, I was like, I'm not, that's a little bit too close for me. I mean, it's just right behind where I live, and I hope and pray they never do come over here and bother us. But I know they've been here because I've seen they got a like a teepee-like structure right across the road from where we live. It looks like a teepee-like thing. They got it all together and wove it in with some kind of material. Really, really tall and really big. I mean, I saw that. I said, "Geez, wow, what made that?" Because it's right beside a school where kids go to school at. I mean, that close. And, yeah, I've got pictures of them. videos of them. I don't have a computer, so I can't, I can't get it up. I try to get it off my phone on somewhere I can send it off, to you and a couple other people. And I said, I can't get it off my phone, get it transferred. I don't have a computer, because I wanted to to show you all. Yeah, Jeffrey, it's just, if you see them and you hear them, it's just
terrifying. Yeah.
It does something to you. It changes you. It just makes you think differently. It's like, from what I've been here, we've been here,
Yep.
For a long, long time.
I truly believe that they've been here with us for a long time, and had whether or not the Sasquatch or Dogman or werewolf, I believe that they, one of those three had some sort of treaty with different Native American tribes and stuff. They're not. I believe that they're not dumb animals. They're very intelligent.
Yes.
So, and that the scream that you're talking about it's terrifying. It is bone chilling. For those that have heard it, they know what Shane is talking about, because it's just this. It goes right through you, and there's nothing pleasant about that. So.
No, just seeing them is scary enough. When you hear them too, when they make that sound, and it's going to scare you. Most people, it's going to make them shake and want to run, or it's like. But yeah, it's just like every time we kept going out in the farm, they would come out there and watch us. And like I said, seeing them that close to us like that, and I can't have to keep my eye on the drone. I find I can't take my eyes off of it. I have to keep it in line of sight. My wife's my spotter, but she looks around, and if she sees something, she'll point it. She says, "Look over there." I look over there, and there'll be something over there, and I said, "Well, that's a little too close for us." I haven't been back out there since last year. I don't want to go back out there no more. There's a guy that goes hunting up there, and we used to go, and I'm worried about him. I don't think he believes in any of this stuff. I've been wanting to tell him, but I don't think he'd probably laugh at me or something if I told him. I was just going to tell him, I said, if you see anything unusual, please don't shoot it, because, if you shoot one of them things, there's no telling what'll happen, if there's one around, there's going to be more than one. There's probably more watching you, because they usually have one that will distract you, while you're looking at one, there might be something behind you from another direction watching you, or, you just don't know when you're out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just wanted to tell that guy that, because I was going to say, well, just keep your eyes open for anything unusual. Look for, I told him to look for tracks, any kind of branches that's broken more than 6 foot tall, higher. Anything that's high up is like it's been broken, like a tree or something. Or if you see any kind of unusual structures or smells, something that smells like a wet dog or a sour pig pen smell, something like that, you'll know when they're around, because the animals will get real quiet when there's a predator around,
Yeah.
They won't make a sound. Even the crickets, every time this thing's coming, those crickets and the birds would stop. They would just stop. It would just be like dead silent. It's like, well, something's coming,
Yeah, which is another, kind of thing, a strange occurrence during these sightings is, you can expect like the birds or small animals or even large animals to go quiet and get out of there, but there's been numerous accounts of, the crickets, whatever, the wind stops blowing when these things come around. So, you know, like you and I were talking about, it's a rabbit hole that once you get you know, introduced into it, it's hard to get out, you know. So
it is. I mean, because you're like me, I want to know more. I watch your videos. I just anything that's on Bigfoot or Dogman, I'm watching it. You know, hear what people have to say from their encounters, and you know, anything that might have something in relation to what I went through. You know, and you know, maybe somebody, like you said, maybe somebody might just know something all about them. They might be willing to spell out something about it. You know, just anything. You know, what are these things? You know, I want to know, like you, I want to know what they are.
yeah,
You know.
yep, absolutely.
You know.
Now, just recently you were talking about when you were flying your drone a couple days ago.
Yes, sir.
Now, where your complex is, you've got a field behind it, and then I'm assuming a patch of woods, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, how far do those woods go? If you don't.
Well, I'd have to say they probably go for miles. And there's like kind of houses and roads in between it. They just go on and on. You know. I say from where I live, from behind me, the woods just goes for miles and miles. It just goes back. The further you go back, the denser it gets. And, you know, so there's ponds, there's creeks, there's some lakes around. So there's plenty of water sources. There's lots of deers and stuff like that, you know. Lots of things for these things to eat, you know. And there's a lake real close, a little pond real close to where we are. So there's actually 2 or 3 of them. So, you know, if anything wanted, like a Dogman or Sasquatch, you know, there's deer, there's water, there's plenty of places to hide. So, you know, and for them to come in that like that, you know, it's not that surprising really to me because of the way the land and all is. You can look it up, you know, where I live at in Union County on the Google or something. You can just see where the woods come in and out at, and, you know. And a little later on when we get down with the interview, I can give you my address. You can look it up on Google and you can see where I'm at. When you get an idea of what's behind me and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
The picture that you had sent to Tony, you sent it to me. I had to some of my files had, you know, gotten junked through, you know, the times that I've, you know, upgraded and stuff with, you know, phone and computer. Do you mind sending me that one picture again? Because I'm going to use that as the thumbnail and for the video picture.
Sure.
So that way people can kind of get a sense of what, you know, you and I are seeing, as well as Tony and other people that have seen it, because, you know, it's like you said, it was you thought just Sasquatch, and then a new set of eyes saw one more, and then a new set of eyes saw one more. So that's pretty interesting. So we'll use that picture.
Sure. Okay.
Perfect.
You know, like that dog, man, that you got. You show sometimes, you know, video how it looks like you're standing in the woods. Like that. That's what that one looked like, you know, that time. I'm gonna send it when I send the picture to you. That's what that other one looks like. It kind of looks like that one in a way, you know, the same build and all.
Right.
So every time I see the picture, I keep thinking about that. That's like what I saw, you know. You know,
yeah,
same kind, same build. It's like, wow, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that one really gets me.
Now there's a cemetery, if I'm not mistaken. There's a cemetery close by too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Very
How far away from the field is the cemetery?
Uh, from the field, I say about 5.5 miles. It's not far. There's
Right.
That's where I saw. Remember when I saw that Sasquatch family? We got that picture almost in to you. They're all standing beside this big old huge X structure, and there's a baby in a tree with a juvenile holding it, and there's three tall ones standing up together, and one really big one.
Yeah.
And you'll see it when I show it to you. It's like, wow, the whole family's just there in that picture. I never seen it like that before in my life. I mean, that one really, that's the one I like. Everybody loves that photo. It's like, where's that at? I say, well, if I told you it's on private land, you couldn't go there anyway, because that guy's out there all the time. He probably, he might shoot you. You don't know what he'll do. You know, it's on private land. I can't tell you what it's at, because I don't want nobody to go out there looking for them things, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be glad to tell you, but, you know, I just couldn't just tell anyone, because I wouldn't want people to go out there and bother that nothing, you know. But that's a private cemetery, and that's where I saw that first Dogman at sitting out there. And, you know, that was huge. I mean, just the biggest dog I'd ever seen. I thought, that wasn't no dog, you know. No dog is that big, you know.
Yeah. No.
You know. And when we go on the road, he come out in the middle of the road and he's standing up, and I can just barely make it out. I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know if that was a hellhound or a Dogman. I really don't know, and, you know. I'd rather for it to be a Dogman than a hellhound, because I heard about those things, you know.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. Well, another thing that people mistaken or forget is, you know, just because you think it's a Sasquatch, that, you know, people get a little, you know, mistaken on this, is they think they're safe. That you know, it's oh, it's a Sasquatch. Oh, it's not a Dogman. Okay, we're good. Well, no,
Right.
you know, there's been terrifying and horrendous Sasquatch encounters throughout, you know, the ages. They are not a nice creature at all. You know, they've attacked people, and you've done massive damage to property, to people, to pets, you know, so they're all a little dangerous, and I think it's just based off of personality, you know. You got bad people, good people, you know, so you got bad Sasquatch, good Sasquatch, good Dogman, bad Dogman, because we've heard numerous stories of, you know, Dogman being evil and terrifying, but yeah, they really like to just scare people, which, if you think about it, is definitely an evil thing to do, you know. So it's these things are, all three of them are definitely dangerous, and, you know, you should always avoid them, in my eyes, always.
Always. I remember when Victor used to talk about the werewolves, right? You know, like especially Sebastian and all them, wanting, you know, he used to communicate with them. I was just thinking, because you said the werewolves get bigger than the Dogman, don't think so? A lot of them get bigger. They can speak to you, I think, from what I remember, I think, or something like that. But yeah, because I remember he said they look like the Wolfman from the original, you know, like Lon Chaney Jr. used to look like, you know, and the face is like, you know, wow, seeing something like that, and it's tall, you know. I'm thinking, what's more dangerous, a Dogman or a werewolf, you know? And I heard from people that said that the werewolf was more dangerous than the Dogman, but I'm not sure about that, but, you know.
Right, I think they're all just, you know, it's in my eyes, my thing is, you know, if you got a bad day, you're going to be a jerk that day, you know. Or if you're in general, you know, a jerk, you're gonna, you know. So I think these things are, you know, resemble us a lot. I really enjoyed back a while back talking to Kumbo Baker, because he made it real easy with his classification list. There was, 4. There was the Sasquatch on the East Coast, the Sasquatch on the West Coast, which is just a larger animal, and then Dogman and Werewolf, or Werewolf Dogman. And Dogman being the most ferocious, terrifying.
Wow.
So I valued his insight and on that.
Yes.
So
I had to agree with that there too, because he really was making sense on about that, the classifications and all. And I know like you said, on the West Coast, they get taller and bigger, especially when you go out like towards maybe Canada or Alaska. They're probably beyond tall up there. They, like you said, they could be over 19, 20 foot tall. We really don't know, but and I think, like I said, every once in a while they catch a real tall one in the United States. Sometimes somebody will see one or something like that. When they throw a real tall one. I think the tallest one I've ever seen though was that 9-footer. He was tall enough. He was plenty big enough for me, but too close. But I'm still trying to figure out, because they got to be kind of related to us a little bit. Because they look human in the face, like and they're extremely intelligent. They know they probably know more than we do as far as about a lot of things. And I often wonder what kind of abilities these things have, because I've heard people say they be right there 1 second, and then the next second they're gone. It's like, you didn't hear it move or nothing wrong. Like, where did it go? Was I seeing things? Was it dead? Did it disappear? That's happened to me. Seeing those things, it'd be down 1 second, and take my eye off for a second or something, just looking around, and the next thing I know, it's gone. I didn't hear it move or nothing. Because when you hear something leave, even if it's just walking, it's going to make a little bit of noise, in the woods, But you don't hear nothing. You don't. It's just like, what happened to it? Still, because this has been hard for me to do, because every time I just talk about them, it kind of worries me, because I have nightmares about them still to this day, and my nightmares is terrifying sometimes with these things. I mean,
right.
That's about, so far, that's about the most recent that was, like I said, just a couple, 2 or 3 days ago. That's the most recent, but I don't know why I keep.
That's a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's a lot of, sightings. Like I said in the beginning, you're in South Carolina, which Lake Dark Waters brought up a ways back, is that may be the East Coast's cryptid roadway, to get to Mexico and stuff. Just go straight down and over, and so I think that's why you're seeing so many things up your way or down your way. For me, the one thing I can say is just be safe out there, and you got your drone. Take pictures with that. Don't be brave and go looking. So
that's true. I think the Sasquatch uses the Appalachian Mountains a lot, because they go up from north and they come all the way down, and I think they kind of follow that. They go up and down like that, maybe,
Yep.
Because there's dense and there's a lot of woods and creeks and rivers and stuff on the big close by, and honestly, if I look at these creatures, they hang around places where there's water sources and there's food, and after years of having all this, I know what, I've been out in the woods a lot, used to go hunting. I know what to look for now as far as looking for something that don't seem right. I look for the prints, I look for the any kind of unusual, anything that looks unusual, that doesn't look right, you know. It looks like certain smells, like something that smells weird, or the animals go quiet, you know. I get a sense of everything around me, so I can pay attention now. You know, just keep my eyes open, you know. But
Yeah, that's all you can do.
yes, sir, it is.
Well,
that's all we can do.
I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Please don't
Thank
forget
you.
to send that picture. Like
Okay.
I said, I'm going to use that, and that way people can see what you're talking about.
Okay.
Is there anything that you'd like to share with the audience before we end the interview?
Well, all I can say is if anybody goes out there, just please be aware of what's going on. Don't go alone. If you got guns, please don't shoot at these things, and unless you have no choice, if your life's in danger, just because there's more. If you try to shoot at one or something, they can cause you all kind of problems. If you live close by, they might follow you to your home. That's happened to me, so just be careful and, you know, stay together. Don't go out in the woods at night if you can help it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Shane, it was great having you. And like I said, I appreciate it. And please, if you're out flying your drone and you come across some really good pics, please don't forget about me and the channel so I can share them with everybody else, please.
Sure, I'll look for them and get them up to you as quick as I can.
That works for me. Thanks for coming on,
Thank
buddy.
you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what an interview. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'd really like to thank you all for supporting the channel. After all, it is your support that keeps the channel growing and going, and what gives folks like all of us a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free, just simply treated with the respect that we all deserve. Everyone, please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, our family, and friends. These creatures are real. They are out there, and they are dangerous. Just share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Till next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless.